Hello and welcome to Chandler in Focus. I'm Councilmember Kevin Hartke, and on today's show, we are going to ring in the Christmas and the holiday spirit and talk about different organizations and their campaigns that will be taking place in our community. My guests today are Trinity Donovan, Council Member, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Chandler Christian Community Center, and Melissa Jimbro, the Chief Programs Officer at ICAN and President of the Chandler Nonprofit Coalition. So let's start with our introductions. You are both well known in our community, but if you would please share with us a little background about yourselves and what you like about the holidays even. Melissa.
Sure. Well, my name is Melissa Jimbro, and I am the Chief Programs Officer at ICAN. And at ICAN, we have many programs geared towards youth and families. And during the holidays is a special time for us because we try and provide services that families may not typically have during the holidays. And I think during the holidays, my favorite event that we do at ICAN is our Thanksgiving dinner. And we welcome about 600 individuals to come, and we serve dinner and sit down as a family together with all of our community members. So that's my favorite part of the holiday season.
Well, great. And I understand it was a great one this year.
Yes, it was a great success.
So very good. Trinity, why don't you give us an overview of the Chandler Christian Community Center and the mission and the programs that are offered.
Great. Well, at Chandler Christian Community Center, our mission is to change lives by nourishing minds and bodies to create a connected, thriving community. And last year, we served over 16,000 individuals from over 5,500 different families. And we have 4 major programs at Chandler Christian Community Center. Our food bank that provides food boxes, over 18,000 food boxes last year. Our Family Resource Center with programs like Giggles, Squiggles, and Squirms, and our Benefits Connection program, helping people to connect to SNAP, food stamps, and health care. Our CAP office, which provides emergency rent and utility assistance and case management and helped over 2,700 families remain in their homes and prevent homelessness. And our Senior Center program, which provided over 68,000 meals to seniors in both Chandler and Gilbert. And as part of our Family Resource Center, we also have our program called I Help, which houses of worship host homeless individuals for a night. And we were able to help over 189 actually, different homeless individuals have safe shelter in the evening.
5,500 families, 68,000 meals. Those are some impressive statistics that are helping our community.
Well, and we can't do it without the community. We see so much need throughout the year and see it magnified during the holiday season. But then it's matched with so much generosity in the community. Volunteers, donations that help us to provide a great Christmas and then holiday season, and then also throughout the year needed items for families.
Well, let's specifically talk about the holiday giving season, and I know with both of your organizations there's a lot underway. So Trinity, what are some of the things going on now, and what are the goals for this holiday season?
Great. We have a couple of different programs for the holiday season. We have our Operation Santa program, where families register if they're interested in receiving gifts for their children. And through that, then we have a variety of different tracks within Operation Santa. Each child receives 3 gifts, and we get those gifts from the community who either give us financial contributions or specific toys. Community members can also adopt an entire family or a specific child. So we have our Adopt a Family program, where a business or a family can even deliver those gifts to a family. And then we have another program within our Operation Santa where families can participate in classes and earn points to get higher end gifts for their kids. So they have an incentive to go to parenting classes or couponing classes or financial education classes. And with those points, they receive additional or higher end gifts. And then apart from the Operation Santa program, we also have our holiday boxes where we provide a holiday meal for families. We provided that for Thanksgiving, and then also we'll be providing it for Christmas. And then in our Senior Center, we have organizations that adopt our seniors too and provide stockings to our home delivered meal customers and the like.
Sounds like it's been very successful. Is there been a great story, or can you share any numbers that have come out from the past from these?
Last year we served over 1,400 children with gifts, and it's really touching to see how the families' lives are changed from that. The holidays can be a really stressful time when families are strapped for money, and that stress can affect the children and the families especially. And so to be able to give a Christmas to children whose parents otherwise couldn't afford it is a really special thing. I remember last year, a mother who came in, and what she really wanted most for her infant child was diapers. And so it's many times the basic needs that people are wanting for the Christmas time.
And what are some of the greatest needs that you see during this time? You mentioned one, diapers, for example, with that specific. Is it as unique as every family?
It can be, and it can be, but at the same time, many of the items that a child who's 4 might want, another child who's 4 will want. So for the infants and toddlers, some good gift items are pajamas or clothes or learning toys. For for any of the other children, clothes and shoes are always hot items for us. And then for the younger kids, princess items and dolls or big trucks, Legos, remote control cars. And for our teenagers, gift cards, makeup, cologne, those are some of the things that they really, really enjoy and ask for.
And if I wanted to give, how would I do so? How would I find out about these needs, and how would I deliver these things?
So if someone has toys to drop off, they can come to our center at 345 South California Street in Chandler. If they're interested in adopting a family or doing perhaps a whole toy drive, or giving a turkey or holiday items for a meal, those can be dropped off as well. But they can contact Lori Tapia, and her email is lori@chandlerfoodbank.org for perhaps someone has a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they want to have a similar sized family with kids their children's age so that they can go shopping for them. So they can contact her to connect directly with a family or do a drive. And then also, if someone wants to make a financial donation, they can do that on our website, which is chandlerfoodbank.org.
Very good. Well, how about you, Melissa? Tell us about ICAN and the things going on at the holidays there.
Yeah, we do many of the similar activities that Trinity and Chandler Christian Community Center do. We adopt all of our youth at ICAN and our families as well. So we have a similar setup where we have Adopt a Youth or another track of Adopt the Family. And we're reaching about 300 youth and their families with that program. And in the past, we have had the great support from businesses such as Avnet and Dignity Health and PayPal that have adopted large amounts of our youth. And we also community members, so we have the need from community members to adopt the youth as well. And similarly, the youth will receive 3 to 4 gifts that they request. That they'll fill out the form with their parents, so it's items that they really would like. And so we're able to reach, for example, as Trinity had mentioned, a 4-year-old, typically another 4-year-old will want the same gift, and same with all the school-age youth. And so, but really make it individualized as well. They'll also receive an outfit and a pair of shoes as well. And this year, something exciting is we are partnering with Fulton Elementary School, where their school is adopting a very large amount of our youth, and we are able to provide household items to all of the families as well. So we're able to ask them what household items they would like. And another program that we have in addition to that is we also have our Stuffed with Love boutique, and that is put on by the Girl Scouts. And it is a similar concept to at an elementary school when they have Santa's workshop, where you'd send your child with some money and they can purchase gifts for the family. since they may not be able to have the opportunity to go shopping with their parents and have them not know what the gifts are. And the Girl Scouts collect gifts all throughout the year, and the kids at ICAN receive 5 tickets, and they get to go shopping in the Stuff with Love boutique. And they get 1 ticket for themselves, and they get 4 tickets to shop for gifts for their families. So we try and wrap around where not only we're providing gifts for the family, but then also empowering the youth to be able to purchase gifts with their tickets for their families as well.
And that's with the Girl Scouts and the YMCA?
Yes, the YMCA and the Girl Scouts partner together, and they do that event the day before we do our distribution.
So that then gives the children opportunities to provide Christmas presents for their family members as well?
Yes, yes.
Sense of pride and giving is related to that?
Absolutely, and with not only the Girl Scouts, but also with Fulton Elementary School, of really having the youth give back to their community and knowing the importance of community service at a young age, and really the importance of giving back to their community.
And is this the first time you've done this with the Girl Scouts, or has this been a partnership?
This has been a partnership for a number of years, and
Right.
every year it grows and it grows and it grows, and the amount of gifts that they have there and is continuously growing. I know that they're still collecting donations for that, and the great thing about this is not only are there's some new gifts, but we also accept gently used gifts as well.
Very good. So Trinity shared the most sought after types of gifts that she sees. Do you see any differences? Or?
You know, we see some similarities. We get a lot of Legos. We get a lot of princess requests, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! We had a little boy ask for a puppy. Unfortunately, I think we may need to figure that one out a little bit more in detail, but we see a lot of the similar gifts there. And with teens, gift cards are always very a hot looked after item, as well as Converse shoes.
So can you talk to us a little bit with your program in the holidays and volunteerism, and how can people get involved?
Yeah, we're always looking for donations, for individuals to donate for our Adopt a Youth drive or our Stuff with Love boutique. We're looking for volunteers all throughout the year, not only just during the Christmas time, but to help us with some of our events, rather if that is with our distribution by volunteering with that, or with our other holiday events that we have going on for the youth. And we ask if there's an individual or a business that would like to rather adopt a family or a youth to go to our website, which is icanaz.org.
Very good. One of the values that particularly the three of us share, as well as many of our community leaders, is the value of working together and streamlining services in order that we can have a maximum impact upon our community and not just serve the children or the populations that come to our particular programs, but seeing how we can look at that as a citywide initiative. I remember, Melissa, years ago, you first had a conversation with me about working together with the Chandler Nonprofit Coalition, with your leadership with there, and for our city initiatives. And we've seen some great efforts, particularly with our backpack drive. That was a tremendous success, and others, and now we're looking at the same with the holidays. So particularly with the holidays, how is your organization working with other organizations to eliminate the duplicity, to make sure that the kids that we help were able to have a bigger impact as well as affect others? How does that work its way into your organization? So, Melissa.
Yeah, well, we worked together. We probably started the conversation, I think, right after our backpack drive of what we were going to do for the holidays. And we first start by making sure that, are we hitting all of the needs? Is there a different need besides just youth or families being adopted? Is there something else? When are we having our Thanksgiving and holiday meals to make sure that we're not having them, for example, on the same day? And we're working together to decrease duplication. For the holidays especially, when a family is adopted, we are sharing that information with the organizations that we're working with to make sure that there's not duplication. So for example, I've already sent a list over to Trinity, and Trinity sent one to me to say these are all of the individuals being adopted by our organization. Is there some that are on both lists, so we can ask the family which place they'd like to be adopted by, because we want to make sure that we're serving more individuals and that we're reaching everyone, as opposed to some individuals maybe getting a little bit more. And then along the same lines, how Trinity was mentioning how families can receive points for higher end gifts. They are participating in programs and parenting classes, not only at Chandler Christian Community Center, but the great thing is it's also with other parenting classes as well. So we have many participants from Chandler Christian Community Center that will come over to ICAN to participate in our parenting classes, that will then in return get points geared towards their gifts. And so that really allows us to reach more people, let other individuals know about some of our parenting classes that we have, and really working together on that angle as well.
Very good. To those of you who are joining us, I'm Kevin Hartke, and this is Chandler in Focus. Our guests today are Trinity Donovan, council member and from the Chandler Christian Community Center, and Melissa Jimbro, who works with ICAN as well as the Chandler Nonprofit Coalition. And we're talking about holiday giving and opportunities to both engage in our community and see how our organizations work together. So Trinity Chandler Christian Community Center in particular has been one of the early leaders when we started talking about how can we do things better in our community and get organizations out of their silos and have more of a collaborative effect. I don't quite know if we're at collective impact, but we are certainly finding some great things happen as a result of working together. And how does that affect your organization?
I think there's a real spirit of collaboration in Chandler with both the nonprofits and the faith community, and that spirit of collaboration is necessary to be there, that there's a willingness to work together, that the nonprofits know that they aren't able to tackle or solve an issue all by themselves, but that it takes many of us working together. Mm-hmm. So as we share lists, as Melissa mentioned, of families that we're serving for Operation Santa and other holiday programs, that it's not that we want to hoard the kids that are ours, but really look at, great, if you're already serving this family, then that means that we can serve one more family, and we'll gladly give that family to you. And that really helps all of us. I'm glad Melissa mentioned for our point system, it's not about them just taking classes at our center, but really empowering the parents that through learning additional skills, they can learn those at other places as well and still receive points from us.
A few years ago, when we were first starting this effort in terms of looking for more children and sharing, I remember the organization that I work for, we always adopt a number of children and provide gifts. And this one year, I called several organizations, including the Chandler Christian Community Center, and asked, were any of these families and children being served? And I found out that 40% of the families that we were going to adopt and provide Christmas presents and Christmas cheer for were already on somebody else's list. And I saw then that, well, if these are being served, we won't provide for them. And then we went back to our base organization, one of the local schools at that time, and said, give us some more families. And at every level, we found this to be effective. It's not that families should not receive, the benevolence of our community, and we want to give, but how much more were we able, on a small scale, able to go deeper and go broader because of the things that you guys have put together. It serves us all in our community. So let's talk a little bit more about our specific needs for volunteers. You shared a little bit. Trinity, tell us about volunteerism and holiday needs with Chandler Christian Community Center.
Great. We have a lot of volunteer needs both during the holiday season and throughout the year. Last year, over 1,400 different individuals volunteered almost 34,000 hours for us, and that's through the whole year, so we can't do our work without volunteers. During the holiday season, we have volunteers who help, they help do a toy drive or a food drive, and those volunteers are critical for us to get those in-kind gifts and support. Then volunteers also stuff the bags with the wish lists from the kids. We register all of the families for Operation Santa, and so we know their wish lists, and they stuff those bags for specific families. We also need volunteers for the day of our event to help with the distribution. And then we need volunteers to help with the holiday food boxes, either creating those holiday bags, doing a specific drive for turkeys or hams, and then helping to distribute those in addition to our normal activities. And throughout the year, we have volunteer opportunities in the food bank, distributing or sorting food. We have Friday morning distributions where we have group opportunities, and ICAN's peer leaders recently came to volunteer as well. It's great to have them be volunteers there. We have volunteers to be home delivered meal drivers for our seniors, to deliver a meal and do a well check for them. Volunteers for our iHelp program, the homeless program, for our Family Resource Center. So many opportunities. And then general opportunities. We have some volunteers who help us with office duties, whether it's data entry or some accounting functions. And really, we like to look at what are the gifts of a volunteer, where do they want to serve, and how do we match them with our needs.
And speaking of volunteerism, Melissa, a couple years ago, you took the reins and leadership of something that looks at a program opportunity that highlights not only holiday volunteerism, but our top volunteers throughout the year. Would you take a little bit of time, and even though it's not specifically holidays, it culminates at the end of the holidays and highlights particularly volunteers who do give during the holidays. Tell us about what's going to be going on with this volunteer celebration.
We've started a volunteer recognition event, and this will be our third event. And this year it is in February. And for 3 years, we have had this event where we're able to highlight volunteers. And typically at a nonprofit organization, we'll do our own recognition of volunteers, where we'll have an event where it's internal and we have an opportunity to showcase volunteers, but we don't have an opportunity to show the rest of the community what are all of these great things that these volunteers are doing, because in many of our organizations, they're crucial. ICAN, they're very crucial. Chandler Christian Community Center, they're very crucial. And an event where we can highlight them and be able to have their community members nominate them for different awards. And so this year we're accepting nominations up until mid-December. And so we're asking individuals to nominate someone that they know that volunteers in many capacities. We have different fun awards, like for example, the Strong Arms Award or the Multitasking Award, the Youth Award, and we have an opportunity to recognize them. This event will also include a People's Choice Award as well as a Mayor's Choice Award. And we will be also recognizing those volunteers that provide 1,000 hours or more. We have a 1,000-hour club, and we have many individuals who volunteer over 1,000 hours in our community, which is so great. And just to put that in perspective, that's about a part-time job of 20 hours per week or more that they're volunteering of their time. So we want to be able to recognize them as well.
Throughout the year, I've run into a few of our award winners, and they come up to me and still bring back the moment and how proud they are to work and volunteer in Chandler. In fact, I was with the Strong Arm winner last night.
Oh, okay.
He can't stop talking about what a great event this is and how honored he was to be part of this. And it's been fantastic. Trinity, you've also had some winners from our Volunteer Recognition Awards program, obviously because there's so many hours that are given. What's been your experience with this?
Well, I think we as an organization do our own recognition event, as Melissa mentioned, and we do our best to recognize our volunteers, but they provide so much for us that it's hard to repay them for all the work that they do. And so an event like this that's community-wide really allows us to provide an additional opportunity to show our volunteers how much we appreciate them. We've had a couple of people from our organization who have been 1,000-hour honorees, and it's critical for us to have those people who are the multitaskers doing a variety of tasks for us and understanding our organization. We also had the youth winner, actually an honoree from the youth category last year, who was an Eagle Scout, and for his project he constructed a sidewalk for us behind our building to help the food carts that we have move around easier. And just that's a great example of looking at what is the need that we as an organization have, and how can that volunteer match that need with the skills and resources that they have.
And organizations, whether they're as large as Intel or a hospital or a city department like the library or police or your organizations can apply, but also organizations that perhaps are very small, a small faith community or some others. So how would people tap into this?
Yes, well, we're asking individuals to track hours and go to our website, forourcity.org. From that, they will click on our Chandler link to go to our specific For Our City Chandler. And we're looking for people to track hours. We know that that's been a challenge. We didn't anticipate that being a challenge, but we all three at the table have found that it's hard for volunteers to want to track their hours. It's almost more of a nuisance for them. And so it's really having the organizations be able to track those hours to send in and to go to forourcity.org to be able to get that information and to email the correct people to have those hours tracked as well as to nominate an individual.
Oh, very good. Well, in our remaining minutes, I'd like to take a little bit of time and just talk about other organizations that will also be giving and sharing during the holidays. The Chandler Fire, Health, and Medical Department is collecting toys to benefit disadvantaged children in our community. And they are sponsoring an annual toy ride taking place on Saturday, December 13th from 2 until 8 p.m. at the Chandler Mall. And anyone who donates a new unwrapped toy will receive a ride in a fire engine. So toy donations can also be dropped off at the fire headquarters at 151 East Boston Street through December 15th or any Chandler Fire Station. This toy drive benefits the Chandler Care Center, one of our other great organizations in Chandler that reaches out to children who are part of the Chandler Unified School District. And toys will be handed out by firefighters on December 19th to children who are identified at each Chandler Unified School District. I also would like to mention the Boys and Girls Club, Matthews Food Bank, and Salvation Army. They're also accepting donations, and their information will be on the screen right now, as well as was mentioned by Melissa, the forourcity.org website. So as a reminder as well, ICAN is looking for donations through December 9th and distribution on the 12th. The Chandler Christian Community Center is receiving donations through December 18th for distribution on the 22nd. Now, one of the other collaborative efforts that I really love in our community is an organization that gives gifts to their children. Often they will then ask who's the next one that is giving out gifts and ask if they have some needs as well. So it's neat that we not only share lists of who are we serving, but also share the donations to make this a success for every child in Chandler. So in our remaining minute, I want to thank both of you. And do either of you have a great 30-second story that you want to tell from Christmas past?
Well, one thing that we've done really exciting at ICAN is we have a holiday event for our youth. And so we do the presents, but we also have a holiday party where we've had a donor donate a snow slide and 5 tons of snow. And so that has been a really neat opportunity to have our kids have the opportunity to play in snow that they typically wouldn't, as well as be able to have such a donor to be able to donate a unique opportunity for our youth. So there's not only big things that you can do with snow, things like that, but also donating items for our holiday drives that can really make a difference.
Well, that's great. I want to thank both of you for being here on the show today. And thank you for watching. We appreciate your generosity, not only in the holiday season, but as we know, need doesn't end after Christmas. I'm Councilmember Kevin Hartke, and see you next time at Chandler in Focus.